One thing Dragon Ball fans could disagree with Toriyama about is his statement that Krillin is the strongest human, because in saying Krillin's the strongest human, he's saying that Tien is weaker than Krillin, and this statement has never actually made sense. If we go back to the original Dragon Ball, Krillin was always weaker than Tien, because from Tien's initial entrance into the series as essentially the main villain or boss, so I guess you could say, of a particular arc, he was clearly the strongest character at a particular point in time, relative to Goku, who lost the tournament against him, and as a result of that, we could say clearly that Tien was stronger than Krillin pretty much throughout the entirety of Dragon Ball. And then when we get over to what we would call Dragon Ball Z, when scouters were taken of various fighters on the planet, the scouters indicated that Tien was once again stronger than Krillin before the Saiyans arrived and even after. So basically, up until the end of the Saiyan arc, considering the fact that Tien obviously died and Krillin was still alive, Tien was always considered to be stronger than Krillin. But then all of this becomes gray area on Planet Namek, and this is more so something that took place in the anime than the manga, because in the anime we have that filler sequence where the Ginyu Force invades King Kai's planet, and all of the fighters, including Chaozu, are somehow strong enough in the few months that they trained with King Kai to be able to fight against the Ginyu Force, especially considering the fact that they're obviously dead and they don't have any way to get like a Zenkai boost. So the fact that they got that much more powerful on King Kai's planet, in addition to the fact that if you look at a character like Piccolo, Piccolo not only trained and got stronger with King Kai, but then when he came to Planet Namek, he fused with Nail, so he got even stronger on top of what he originally was. But the thing with Tien is that this is where the gray area really starts, because on the Namek arc, Krillin doesn't really train. I mean, we saw some sequences where like he was doing like that visual training with Gohan, and then, Vegeta made the statement that, Krillin was getting stronger throughout the arc, especially after Guru had unlocked his hidden potential, and that's where the debate could really be swung. The debate could be swung in saying that when Guru unlocked Krillin's ability, he made Krillin way stronger than Tien, but that doesn't fully make sense even if you're using the anime adaptation, because if you're using the anime adaptation, if you count the filler, and it's hard to compare Krillin's power to the Ginyu Force at that particular point. At least from Krillin's perspective, he didn't feel like he was strong enough to hold his own with the Ginyu Force. So it's one of those things where you just have to create headcanon and say that Krillin got stronger throughout the battles on Planet Namek, and then after this, considering the fact that Krillin has always been shown to not have the same work ethic that Tien has, you would think that in the future timeline, before both of them died, that Tien should be stronger than Krillin, considering the fact that even though Krillin got his potential unlocked, Tien trained with King Kai, on top of the fact that Tien also naturally trains more than pretty much everybody else outside of like the Saiyan characters in Piccolo. Now, something else we also have to point out too is that when Krillin died on Planet Namek, he never actually went to go train with King Kai because it was in a different galaxy, and obviously the allocation of where Krillin was sent to the afterlife was changed. But as a result of all of this, and in the present timeline, considering the fact that both characters had the exact same life up until Trunks coming back to Earth and basically warning them about the android threat, you would think that Krillin would have a better chance of surpassing Tien here, because he would have trained more from an earlier standpoint, and if you combine that with his hidden potential that was unlocked, it makes some sense that Krillin would have surpassed Tien, from the Namek arc onward, because he would have gained more from training on top of his hidden power, and that's literally the best that we can go, because if we go even beyond this, it always seemed like Krillin never trained or worked as hard as Tien, and it always felt weird that Krillin got this reputation for being the strongest human, when logically it always just made sense for Tien to have been stronger than him. And obviously, if you're counting human characters, I mean, if you count Oob, then that's a whole different case, but basically, as far as it comes between Krillin and Tien, the best point where it would have made sense for Krillin to have surpassed him would have been definitively around the time of the Android arc, and possibly during the Namek arc, if you say that he just got stronger throughout the battles on Planet Namek, combined with his hidden power.